This is one of the most fascinating elections you will ever see in your lifetime. And I'm talking about what's happening in New York City. And if you're one of those people who say, oh, I don't care about New York City, you're missing the point. It's not about New York per se, it's about the rest of the world. And it's more about you than anything else. It's how you view the world. It's how you know. When I say you, I don't mean you sitting in front of me now, but the collective, the royal you. How nobody knows anything. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like, who are these? They think it's 1980 Ronald Reagan. I'm hearing every hackneyed cornpone nonsense. This stuff. Well, he's a socialist. What planet are you on? Why do you think that's going to sting so much? Oh my God, you called him a socialist. Oh my, that'll get him. I don't even know where to start. Look at this and ask yourself, what is really happening here? What is happening in terms of the reality of this? This is not just about New York City. It's about politics. It's about the Republican Party, who sucks. He is not, let me try this again. Zohran Mamdani is not, and by the way, nobody pronounces his name. There are people I know, they call him Mamdani. They get it wrong. How can you miss a guy's name? How can you be on TV asking, garnering, suggesting that I give you my respect when you can't even say a goddamn name? I don't understand it. What are you, retarded? It's 3 syllables. This is incredible. And don't tell me, well, they're doing it on purpose. No, they're not, because they're stupid. Because most of the people who were talking about this are morons. I don't understand it. They think this is some kind of wizardry, some kind of alchemy, that this is the incarnation of Joseph Stalin. No, it's not. No, it's not. They have been telling you about this forever. Where have you been? And I keep telling people, it's New York City. It's 70% Democrat. It's like Portland or San Francisco, or I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what this is about. Zohran Mamdani has said nothing, but they like him because he smiles. That's right, he smiles. Let me remind you, folks, of a couple of things, and New Yorkers will know this. New Yorkers will know what I'm saying. Let me see if I can explain this to you. New Yorkers will know exactly what I'm saying, okay? Good. When Bill de Blasio ran, he was the public advocate. That is second in line under the New York City Charter. The public advocate. Nobody knows what the hell it is. From the days of Mark Green, and I don't know what it is. Now it's Jumaane Williams. They don't know who. They don't know what it is. Public advocate. Aren't you all a public? Is this like, what is this? You mean like what? Like, Ralph Nader? I mean, nobody knows. Nobody knows. So when this fellow named Bill de Blasio, who's about 7 feet tall, he actually got bigger and lied about how tall he was, because was this some kind of a pituitary disorder? What the hell's going on here? Anyway, when he was trying to put together his ad, he had a woman named Shirlane, his wife Shirlane, a black woman, who claimed to have been a lesbian, but then changed her mind. I'm not kidding you. This is what they said. She changed her mind. She changed back. You never hear about that, do you? You never hear about that. She was a lesbian, and then she went straight, and now I think she's back to the island of Sappho. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, this is what they said. He actually was legitimately maybe an actual lefty. I mean, serious. On his, just bear with me, I know we're not talking about this. On his, but remember, this is what New York wanted. On his honeymoon, he went with Shirlane to Cuba. Cuba. Did you hear what I said? Cuba. And you couldn't even go to Cuba then. You could. I don't know. This guy was as left and radical as you can get. They elected him. But I'm not done yet. Let me explain to you why they elected him. During the course of these pitch meetings and focus groups, they had a picture of his family. He had a daughter, a wife, Shirlane, and his son, Dante. Dante had a fro, kind of like a Questlove kind of fro. All you had missing was the pick. He was a young man with a fro. All right, you got it? Okay, you with me? You with me? Good. During the course of this endeavor, they were doing these, I guess you would call them focus groups, and somebody said, "Hey, who's that kid?" Now, bear with me, I'm telling you. I said, "Who?" I said, "Who's that kid?" They said, "Well, that's Dante, the son." Is that a fro? Yeah, it's a fro. We love the fro. I shit you not. Pardon my French. That's why they elected him. And they probably insured his hair. They told him, you can't cut your hair. So this is New York City. We elected this, might be close to being an actual Marxist, because Mamdani's he's not a socialist or anything. He's just a kind of a giveaway welfare society. Anyway, so this is who they are. So let me just say right now. So stop asking, why are they voting for Mamdani? Because this city is like a bunch of commies or something. Or they have a predominance of people who are indeed of that particular way of thinking. So let me just explain that. I know nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody says, well, let's come up. No, stop with this pretend, these intellectual exercises of your part. I think that the citizens, frankly, are retarded. Of New York, they're crazy. And every now and then, a couple of times, we elected Rudy Giuliani, who was probably one of the greatest mayors, if not the greatest mayor ever, because it's Giuliani, Koch, and LaGuardia. Those are the biggies, okay? Those are the biggies. And it was a different story then, because Staten Island was about to secede, and Rudy was on the okay, fine. I don't want to go too much into the weeds. So let me just get this right off the bat. And you will never hear anybody on any TV show say this, because everybody's got to be real nice and real sweet, but they won't say that the people of New York are retarded. They're retarded. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Elon got it wrong. Elon got it absolutely wrong. Okay? I'm going to try to show you something. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. A New York City sample ballot is the weirdest thing you've ever seen. It is the strangest thing you have ever seen. It's nuts. It's weird. Which I should have had this ready, but I'm going to see if I can pull that up for you right now and show you what's going on, because it is very, very funny. And let me see it. View. Okay, let me see. Oh, God. Just a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. New York City sample ballot 2025. Because old Elon got it right. And unless you see this, you're not going to understand how this thing works. Let me see. No, that's not it. Let me see. This is it. No, that's not it. Hang on. Across, I got to show you this thing. Talk amongst yourselves. You don't understand. I've been living with this thing every single day, and I've had to hear everybody. And God bless WABC for allowing me the chance overnight. But I've got to hear every goddamn lunatic who doesn't know anything about the election. Simply does not know anything about the election. They don't know how it works. Let me give you an example. We have 3 people, as you know, running. Before I dig this up, 3 people, okay? Number 1, we have Zohran Mamdani. Zohran, as you know, is on his, how do I say this? He is on the Democratic Party. He won the Democratic. He won the Democratic election, okay? Let me see. He won the Democratic election. Or the nomination. Democratic nomination. So he's a Democratic nominee in a Democratic city. You got that? You got that? This is what he got. He is the Democratic nominee. Now, Andrew Cuomo is a Democrat. Andrew Cuomo lost Democratic nominee. So he's on the independent ticket called the Fight and Deliver Party that nobody has ever heard of. It doesn't exist except in this quirky, weird New York City world where you could be on a number of different sides. You could be the conservative candidate. You could be on the Fight and Deliver. You could be the working families. You can only pick one, but you could be on 3. You could be, because we normally have, things like the usual stuff, Democrat, Republican. Not in New York. Not in New York. Not in New York. It's one of those things where it just doesn't work that way. And the reason why it's very interesting is because of the fact that people don't understand the strange thing. So you've got Zohran Mamdani. He is a Democrat, okay? Moving on down the road. Curtis Sliwa won. Curtis, a good friend of mine. Let me just say this for the umpteenth time. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm so tired of saying this. For the umpteenth time, I've said this. And I'm going to say it again. I've known him for 32 years, and he's my pal. And I like him. But I didn't vote for him. I voted for Cuomo. Good, now I got it here. Let me see if I can show this to you. I voted for Cuomo. And I voted for Cuomo because he could beat him. So let me just show you this. You're going to love this. This is absolutely nuts. I can get rid of this. I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can do this for you. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. Here. By the way, there's a great thing called Snagit. Do you have Snagit? Snagit is fantastic. Snagit is terrific. Here we go. Let me show you this. And let me show you this. And let me show you the poll. And I want you to see this, and you're gonna love this because you gotta see this to believe it. It's the nuttiest thing ever. And our good friend Elon Musk got it completely wrong and he's a smart guy, but even he could understand what the hell this thing means. Because you could be on, he goes, hey, look, he's on in 2 different places. Yes, in New York you can do this. It makes no sense. I recognize that fact, but it's one of those things which is just so monumentally. It is so stupid. All right, hang on a minute. Let me see if we can do this. That's something with this. Download here. Is that it? No, let me see. Oh, for the love of God. Hang on. Let me see this. We're going to make this. I'm going to call this. Hang on a minute. I'm going to call this. Hang on a minute. Just talk amongst yourselves, my friend. I'm sorry. I should have had this before. But you know what? I've been busy. I've been doing this goddamn thing for like 24 hours straight. And I can't even see straight. Anyway, let me read this thing to you. Forget it. Line A, it says, Democrat, Zohran Mamdani. B, second one, Curtis A. Sliwa. C, conservative, Irene Estrada. Nobody knows Irene Estrada. I've never heard of Irene Estrada. Don't know who Irene Estrada is. Don't know where she's from. Irene is. She's third. She's third in the list. Okay? You got that? Now moving down. Line D, working families. You've got two. You got one. Zohran Mamdani. So he's in Democrat, and interestingly enough, and he's in. Let me see something here. Oh, what a country I live in. You have no idea. And part of me also is very, very upset to an extent. And then I'm thinking, well, F you. Pardon my friend. I think you know what I'm saying. If you don't know any better, I'm not going to help you. And I'm not going to leave. And we're not going to go and all that nonsense. Nobody is going to be leaving. Nobody is going to be going. Nobody. It's just nobody is going. Okay. We are not leaving. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. We're not leaving. We're not going to quit. We're not going to move. We're not going to. These are the same people, by the way, who scream and they always yell. They always say something to the effect of, "Oh, look, you're actually just like no." They always laugh at Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell. She's a fool. She's terrible. Well, what about you? Well, I'm leaving. Oh, because I gotta make a statement. Yeah, but you were just mocking Rosie O'Donnell. Well, that's different. This is me. Nobody's leaving. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Nobody is leaving. This nonsense about leaving. In any event. So moving on down the road. For some reason, I can't bring this up. And line E, Curtis Sliwa was on it again. Protect Animals Party. So he's the Republican nominee, and he's the only one on the Protect Animals Party. Moving into row F, you've got Eric Adams, who's still on. He's in the safe and affordable or whatever. Then J, you have Jim Walden. He is in the Integrity Party. And then finally, Andrew M. Cuomo, Fight and Deliver Party. Did you hear what I'm saying? You get this? It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand how this thing works. He's in the Fight and Deliver Party. So we live in this stupid world where to find these jadrules, you got to know, first of all, where you're going. And many people have never even taken it. You always have to take a copy of the ballot in with you. It's critical. So that's the way that is. Now, you got that? Now, Curtis Sliwa cannot win no matter what. Curtis Sliwa cannot win. He can't win. He can't win. If it's Curtis against Mamdani, he can't win. He's done better than anybody. By the way, the numbers are out of this world. My God, the numbers are through the roof. You can't even believe. You can't believe the number. Okay, great, wonderful. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It's good because it throws the polls off. Wait a minute, look who it is. It's Mark Klingerfeld. God bless America. Deliver us from this mess. Mark, thank you, by the way, for your kindness. It's not really a mess. Oh, I forgot. Pilgrim Media says, how does ranked voting affect this election? That's only in primaries. Doesn't affect the general. That's a good question. Listen, this is America. We've got Virginia. We got this woman, Mikey Sherrill. Mikey. They thought it was Mickey. You think Mamdani's bad? There are people on TV calling her Mickey. Can you believe this? Mickey. I'm thinking these people are retarded. These people are absolutely, they didn't even look it up. They didn't look up her name. Now that's another story too, but we could lose that one. Absolutely, which is very, very sad because there's a fellow named, here's another one for you. His name is Jack Ciattarelli. CIA. Cha, like focaccia. CIA, focaccia. CI is chi. You got it? They call him Jack Ciattarelli. That's not his name. His name is not Chitterella. I say, what? I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to call this. It blows my mind. And what's also interesting is that he's running and President Trump gave him the official okay. So you've got that one. You got Virginia. You got everywhere. Everybody for the first time is acting so upset. Oh my God. Where have you been? We went through Joe Biden. You know how many idiots voted for Kamala Harris? This is bigger than just us. This is bigger than us. Everybody's overreacting. And the reason why is because the Republican Party hasn't done dick. They don't do anything. They just sit back and say, oh, this is terrible. So anyway, so Andrew Cuomo thought, well, I've got this. I'm the Dauphin. I'm the scion of the Democratic Party. Of course, they're going to vote me. Come on. Of course, I'm loved. I'm the greatest thing in the world. Really? Oh, yes, absolutely. You're the greatest thing. Oh, of course. Without a doubt. I'm the greatest thing anybody's ever seen. Well, not really. Well, yes, I am. I'm wonderful. I'm terrific. I'm the greatest. So anyway, he got it. They handed it to him. Out of nowhere, they said, guess what? Let me see if I can show this to you. Here it is. Check this out. Do you see this? Do you see the poll? Now you can see it. Finally. Line A. I'm sorry, you can't see all this stuff. See right here on the left, it says Zohran Mamdani. That's the A list. You can see it below. Jumaane Williams. Oh, this guy. He's a public advocate. Nobody knows what the hell that is. So on the left, that straight line is the Democratic. So you got Zohran Mamdani. Then you got Curtis Sliwa for Republican. Then you got conservative Irene Estrada. Moving over, you see working family Zohran. And then you go to E, you got Curtis Sliwa again. You got Eric Adams in F. J, you've got Jim Walden. And the penultimate Andrew M. Cuomo in the Fight and Deliver Party. You see how this thing works? Are you seeing this? Do you see this? Look at this nonsense. And poor Elon Musk said, hey, look, Andrew Cuomo's only once. I know. I could be, if I qualified, I could be on the working families. It was conservative. This guy Ray Harding years ago. This is New York. This is simple. You got that one? This is, oh yeah, and by the way, this language, you're right. Why is it just, what is it, Chinese or Japanese? What is it? I have a hard time sometimes telling the truth. Why there's nothing in Spanish. This is just crazy talk. This is nuts. This is one of those things which I wish I could tell people about, but I can't. So this is where we are right now. It's just crazy. So anyway, so here's the story. It gets even better. So all of a sudden, lo and behold, you've got Curtis Sliwa. Now, Curtis Sliwa is, of course, the best. Like I said, a lot of people I know, they're getting mad at Curtis. And there's a part of me that says, Curtis, you're kind of dicking around with this. And I'm starting to, I'm really kind of sort of maybe resenting you just a tad because you've been putting us through this stuff. When you really should have stepped down and given it to Andrew Cuomo. Now, let me go back. Everybody hates Andrew Cuomo. Hates him. Hates Andrew Cuomo. Do you hear what I'm saying? They hate him. He had to step down. He looks like Salazzo. He's creepy. I voted for him. Yeah. Because this is about strategy. It's about math. It's not personality. It's not people that I like. This doesn't matter. This is the most ridiculous thing in the world. So to make a long story short. So this guy is so bad. During COVID, Andrew Cuomo took a number of people from old folks, actually took people with COVID and dumped them off into senior facilities and hospitals. And was it 15,000 died? Now, were they all because of Andrew Cuomo? No, let's say 5,000 were. Let's say a third. He is blamed for this. And the rumor wasn't that he was so tied in with the hospital unions that they said, listen, we got to get rid of these people out of the hospitals because we need a turnover. So he said, oh, I don't know what to do. I'll throw them in these senior centers, these elderly, whatever the hospital. Now, whether that's true or not, later on he said, no, listen, I was just following the direction of CDC. Where have I heard that before? So first of all, he killed Grandma, Mima, and Pawpaw. He killed them. 15,000. And Janice Dean on Fox has got such a hard-on for him. That's all she ever talked about. That's all she ever talked about. She was a weather woman. And today in New Mexico, that son of a bitch Cuomo killed her in-laws? Yeah, that son of a bitch killed my in-laws. Anyway, partly cloudy with a chance of scattered lightness. That son of a bitch. That's all she talked about. And she did it, of course, to get her own name because finally, how many times you ever talk about the weather woman? It wasn't that it was invalid. She was rightfully empingado, as we say. So that's number one. Then he had no bail, no jail. This is the son of a bitch who wanted to do that. Then he did congestion pricing. It costs us $9. If I take the Yugo stretch out of the garage, I make a ride. It's $9. It's good for the day. $9 to just drive around in my own city, my own block. $9. Because this son of a bitch came up with this because they wanted to help to encourage people to ride subways more and buses. No, why don't you just clean up the buses in the city and the subways and get rid of these vermin and these Rikers Island these freaks and arrest their ass, lobotomize them, and throw them into a gulag. I don't care. But they didn't do that. No, he wanted congestion pricing. So he did that one as well. He screwed up the parole board. Oh, and then he picks Kathy Hochul, this numbnuts. This is another one, too. She's not, put it this way, she's not retarded. She's what we used to call slow. You ever see her? She's just slow. Hi, I'm Kathy Hochul. There's this New York, I should say, it's kind of upstate, kind of Midwest, but like Rochester. Hi, I'm Kathy Hochul. And I'm your governor. Ugh. That's him, too. So nobody likes him. But he can beat Mamdani because he's cancer and Cuomo is lupus or paralysis. It's horrible, but you're not going to die. With Mamdani, you're going to die. So that's the thing. So all of a sudden, it starts off like this. Curtis, I don't blame him for being pissed off. He said, all right, I'm going to be a Democrat. Yeah, I mean a Republican. Yeah, you go ahead, Curtis. And he wins. And did a hell of a job. And people really like him. Okay. Andrew said, I got this. I remember the first time I heard Zohran Mamdani's name. I thought, what the hell is this? Who is this guy? What is this? Is it Zoltan? It sounds like a mentalist or something. He has a turban and a zircon in his forehead. Ooh. Does the name Rosebud come to mind? Ooh. Imagine him wearing like a cape and a wand or a pointy hat with moons on it, and he flashes the light. Ooh. I'm Zoltan Ramzabi. Ooh. Well, the joke's on us. He went straight to the top. And in this ranked voting, he became the nominee. So then there's Cuomo said, hey, what about me? I'll join this fight and deliver party. Well, as it happens, Curtis does better. And this guy, Mamdani, is going through the roof, promising all kinds of shit that you and I know he can't deliver. He can't. And they call him, well, he's a socialist. He's just lying. And free, free buses. Yeah, that's it. Free buses. And free healthcare. Did I say that? I can't do healthcare. Free childcare. Free food. We have city-run food. We're going to have food. Grocery stores. The food. With the food. Okay. How are you going to do that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have no idea how to do it. Rent freeze. We're going to freeze the rent. No, you're not. Who wants to live in a place? If you freeze rents, that means you freeze profit. That means they're going to say, I'm not going to fix anything. It's going to be awful, awful. Anyway. And he's got this shit-eating grin smile all the time. He's always smiling and grinning like he just farted in an elevator. He is just absolutely so disingenuous. He's got this wife. She's what, 12, 28? We don't know who she is. We know anything about him. He's from Uganda. I think he's 7 years ago, he was naturalized. They plucked him out of central casting. They plucked him out of central casting, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way that is. You understand how this works? They say, let's see what happens. This is being there. This is Chauncey Gardner. This is I like to watch. Ben, I like to watch. This is Robert Redford. This is the, now what do we do? Remember that character? This is that guy, what was it? Kevin Kline, Bill or Ed or Bob. It's a story about somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. But he's smart. He's a smart guy. He knows every line there is. He's been making these speeches forever. And you got a bunch of people like Big Tish James. Woo. Big Tish, she's walking around the Brooklyn Bridge. She's happy, alive. She's happy. Big Tish, yeah, you're a real social commie Marxist. You with your multiple houses and marrying your father. What's with these Democrats marrying on paper? Who was it? Elon married her brother. This one's her father. These are a bunch of crooks. These are hardcore gangsters. This is who we're talking about right now. It's the most incredible thing you've ever seen in your life. So Curtis is doing great. And by the way, just so that you know, if I had my choice, I'd pick Curtis. But Curtis isn't going to win. So I want to stop Mamdani. And the only way to stop Mamdani is to say, please, I hope you got my newsletter today. Please vote for Curtis. I mean, what am I saying? Vote for Cuomo. Hold your nose and vote for Cuomo. That's it. Nobody likes him. Even he says, nobody likes him. Nobody likes me. Okay. This is where we are. This is where we are. Okay? And I think you should put your money in the fact of Mamdani. But now, the good thing about this is that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Nobody voted for him. Hakeem Jeffries wouldn't even, they don't want him. Obama came, never endorsed him. They don't want him. Because he's, what's the word? Full of shit. Pardon my French. These are colloquialisms that really explicate, limit, expatiate, is specifically what I'm talking about. It's wild. We have the best police commissioner. We have Jessica Tisch, billionaire from the Tisch family, billionaire. The first time I saw her, I thought, oh my. She looks like your little sister's friend. You know, you ever have that? Like one time, like I remember my little sister, I took her to a concert. Can I bring Margaret? All right. That was her friend, Margaret. All right, bring Margaret along. You know, I got to take Margaret away. She's a nice girl. And Tish looked like, you got Tish James, and this is Jessica Tish. And I thought, oh my God, because we had, Ray Kelly, the great Ray Kelly, and you have Bill Bratton, and Jack Maple, and Tom Holman, that kind of stuff. Then you got this one. You got Margaret. She's phenomenal. She is the best. I love this woman. Mrs. Allen and I are biggest fans. Don't let looks fool you, because she just looks so nice. Oh, she's tough and smart. Okay? Because crime is a thing. So he says, well, I'm going to ask Jessica Tisch whether she wants to be my commissioner. Okay, fine. The good news about that is, are you going to let her do what she wants to do? Well, see, that's the issue. Are you going to let her do what she wants to do? We don't know. We don't know. Well, what do you mean? Well, I think so. I'm not really sure. Okay, all right, well, let's see how that works. The bottom line is simply this. And this is, I hope to God that they do the right thing. Hey, is this Frank? Is this Frank from, is this the old Frank? Frank, is that you? Just Frank? Haven't seen you forever. Is that you, Frank? Remember Frank? His name is just Frank. Didn't even have no fancy name, no Frank. I don't know what the. I think YouTube has been fooling around with it because he was just Frank. Anyway. Oh, Frank, you son of a gun. How the hell are you? My best to your wife as well. I haven't seen you since I think it was at the cutting room. Anyway, so here's the best one. This is the thing we got to do. Now, next thing we got to figure out is, and this is the most important thing in the world. We're in this, I don't know, stage, this place we're in right now. I don't know. And we're going to be going crazy watching what happens tonight. And the Republicans have had to, they should have gone out and they should have told people right off the bat, listen, let me see if we can explain this thing to you. We're it's kind of an uphill battle in New York, but you got to be able to tell people this is why we want you to become and why we think you should be a Republican. I am not a Republican. I am not a Republican. I'm an independent. I think Republicans are full of it. I don't like them. I like certain people. I like Trump. Not everything he does, but 90% of what he does, I'll take it. We're going through this weird time right now. Republicans are weird. They're actually giving Tucker Carlson a hard time because he interviewed Nick Fuentes. So what? Well, Nick Fuentes says he doesn't believe in the Holocaust. He's 20 years old. Who gives a shit what Nick Fuentes says? He's the most popular person on the... I don't believe that. Can we talk to somebody who doesn't believe... Did you hear where Kim Kardashian doesn't believe we landed on the moon? Okay, fine. What's going on here? Piers Morgan interviews serial killers. See, the Republicans, everybody, they eat their own. Democrats don't do that. They eat the enemy. Marjorie Taylor Greene going on The View. Who cares? Frank says, what's up, L? Cuomo is a Democrat. He should have dropped out. He lost the primary. That would have time for voters to learn about Curtis. After early voting, it's too late. Cuomo didn't drop out because he's working for Zohran. You know, it's funny, Frank. A lot of people are saying that. My good friend, my colleague, Dominic Carter, made a lot of, didn't say that per se, but certainly kind of intimated and gave a number of suggestions to the fact that perhaps maybe that is not as impossible. I don't know how. I would say no. I think Curtis is far too reasonable and loyal. But let me tell you something. When you abandon people are saying such horrible things about Curtis now, it's not even funny. I mean, they're saying terrible, terrible things about him. And he's getting tired of this. And Curtis is saying, listen, I never bothered anybody. I'm doing my thing. And now you want me to drop out? And the reason why, statistically, if Cuomo runs against, remember, he's a Democrat, but he's a Democratic light. You know what I mean? He's not a lefty loon. But if he stops, if they drop out and he comes in, there's a chance. But Curtis said, F you and the horse you rode in on, I'm not. And he hates Cuomo with a passion. Hates him. Oh my God. He used to call him Evil Eye Cuomo, and they hate him. And Curtis hates Trump and hates everybody. Curtis, his problem is you got to get along with people. Curtis doesn't know that. Curtis doesn't. He's kind of like of the streets, kind of a thing. He's the tough guy. He's I will negotiate with the devil. I like the devil. That's right. Fuentes likes Stalin. By the way, I got to tell you, what do you think about that one? I've met a lot of people. I know people who really think we never landed on the moon. But seriously, a Holocaust denier, legitimate? I don't know anybody. No, never happened. No, I don't know anybody like that. So, okay. What? You talk to somebody who says this, so what? I know people who say things about health all the time, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Who are putting... I don't understand. I'll talk to anybody. Anybody. I'll talk to somebody who believes in critical race theory, somebody who believes in revisionist theory about why this country was founded. I'm not supposed to talk to Nick Fuentes. Why? It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't understand this. And we're eating our own. Now you got the Heritage Foundation against this one. Republicans hate each other. They don't do a goddamn thing. And let me tell you what they do here. Hey, look what this Johnny Jelaine says. Johnny says there is an old guard DNC and the up-and-coming wacky new radical foreign-funded DNC party. You're right. And you're right about that, Johnny, and thank you. And the new Democrats do not get along with the old ones. They don't know who these people are. When I was a kid, the Democrats made sense to me. Anti-war, pro-woman, pro-rights, pro-peace. I don't even know. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who is least psychotic, if there is. I don't know. There is not one person that says, yes, no, I've got... Listen, I like Trump because he hasn't let me down. The moment he does, I'm out of there. He does some things which, again, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do what he wants to do. This is ridiculous. What if I do America first? Not everything that Nick Fuentes says is wrong, but he loves Stalin. He's doing this just to... He's like that. He's like that. There's a kid, I should say a kid, maybe he's 20s. He's in New York. He has this communist newspaper, and he's a communist. and he loves to get people upset. Remember when in Florida years ago, when I was growing up, in Daytona Beach, there was this thing called the Rat's Hole, Rat's Den. It was all these surfers. Remember the surfers? And they had the big, like the Harleys, the Easy Riders, and they wore Nazi-style helmets. Remember that? This is what they... Sometimes you saw the Iron Cross. Remember that? These surfers or whatever. This is stupid. This is stupid. The Republicans are just stupid. They just attack each other. Democrats don't do this. They're happy. They may not endorse them, but they don't badmouth them. Nobody badmouths them. They go, okay, well, whatever. And you can tell Hakeem Jeffries does not want this guy in. So what we need to do is we need to be going on and trying to get young people, Frank and others, to find out, well, what is it that you understand? Let me ask you a question. Let me start off with this. Very, very simple. Let's say I come to you and I say, hi, what's your name? Oh, my name is Toby. Okay, Toby, what do you do? I'm 20 years old. I had a guy, let's say, 20 years old, like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing up at 3? Anyway, great guy, great kid, great, just great. Absolutely terrific. So anyway, so as I'm talking to him, I said, what about some of your friends? I think he went to either a religious school or a private school. I said, well, what do you think? What sort of makes your friends, conservative or whatever? What is it? So I would like to go in, and this is what I would do. I would go to any town meeting, any town hall. Say, hi, how are you? Like to meet you. Hi, I'm your guest. And I'd say, let me ask you something. Get a couple of women. I said, please don't raise your hand, but has there anybody here who's been the victim of an essay, a sexual attack? And what do you think would happen if maybe something happened to your daughter? Let's say she was herself affected or hurt or harmed by some lunatic. What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? And what would you want to happen? And people would say, I would want to apprehend the person. Good, very good. Write that up, apprehend. What else? Maybe seek medical, psychiatric counseling attention for your daughter. Yes, very good. Yes. Anybody else? Anybody else here have anything? Anything else you would do? Yes. What about you? Well, I would do such and such. Very good. What if I told you that I wanted to put more emphasis on why this person did this. What was the motivation behind this assailant? Why did he pick your daughter? And do you not think it would be best for us to perhaps maybe spending more time learning about the interpersonal dynamics of why people do this? What? Yes. And to bring your daughter face to face with her assailant so they can work things out. So we can have, and this is what restorative justice is. It's called non-carceral, non-retributive. This goes back decades before Soros. That's what they want to do. That's Zohran Mamdani. That is in the handbook of the Democratic Socialist. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? And I would tell them, I ask people, what do you think about that? Well, I think it's wrong. Okay, well, this is how we do it. Right off the bat, people would say, what? So remember, and after you are coming up, maybe after the wounds have healed, internal, external, psychological, social, once the scars of this horrible event, we're going to have you sit down with your assailant so you can patch things up. And if you don't show up, if you don't cooperate, we'll drop the charges because you're not cooperating. Because we're taking a non-carceral look. Our job is not to put people in prison. It's to get to the bottom of this. Because for far too long, we've always talked about stopping the behavior, but not understanding why. I am telling you, this is the very first thing I would think. First thing I would do. So what do you think about that? I would not use the word socialist. I told you, two good friends of mine, one's a socialist, one's a Marxist. And they don't believe in this stuff at all. Nuts. They're saying, no, they're into the economic part of the thing. They're not into this other kind of stuff. See, because Americans think that they use the wrong term. You do not understand Sharia law. You don't understand it. You think it means prayer vigils at 3 a.m. or calls to prayer. That's not it. Or cutting somebody's hand off. That's not it. That's not it. That's not what Sharia is. It's about interpreting laws and social dynamics and wedding contracts. It's almost, you know how in the Catholic Church you can annul. There's the church wedding and then there's a civil wedding and you annul it. Well, sort of like, but we use it incorrectly. So don't bring it up. Don't bring up Sharia. Don't say socialist. Let me ask you a question. Friday night, Saturday night, all of a sudden at 3 a.m, there's this loudspeaker. And you, oh my God, what is it? And instead of hearing, like, instead of that, you hear, it sounds like a Lion King or something. I'm doing a daylight comment, whatever I'm doing, some language. I don't know what it is. How about that? Oh, you want to be inclusive, don't you? You can't. Don't say anything. You think anybody has a right to do that? And why do you think people do that? Well, one of the reasons why people want to do that is so that they can get you and lure you to say something about it so that they can call you Islamophobic. Yes. It's to get you to come forward and to say, aha, you're one of them, aren't you? Et tu? Yes. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? This is one of those things which absolutely blows my mind. And, interestingly enough, people just sort of don't get it. They don't really understand how things work. And that's the bottom line. And you see, what I think is interesting, what I think is fascinating, and what a lot of people don't really grasp is this idea, this notion of something which is a little bit more interesting. And it's one of those things which I think you have to kind of look at differently. See, it works like this. There are people who sometimes mean well and some who don't mean well. How many of you, if I could ask you, my dear friends, right now, what do you think, if you don't mind, What is your ethnicity, as we say? What is your ethnicity? What is? Oh, Johnny. See, Johnny. Yeah. What is yours? Mine is very interesting. On my father's side, on my mother, my grandmother's, she was Sicilian. That's it. My grandfather's side, my father's father was Puerto Rican. I mean, they were French, but they kind of landed there. And my grandfather was as dark as you can imagine. And my father, when my father was like in his 20s, I mean, he looked like he went to the beach. There's a lot of, well, I don't know, perhaps soul in my life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. It is what it is. But in my family, my mother's side was like Scotch, Irish, and German, and I don't know what the hell they did. But anyway, so when they came here, they loved America. They wanted to assimilate in America. They wanted to be a part of America. They wanted America to be, but they wanted to assimilate, but not to replace their world with ours. They didn't show up and say, okay, we're going to go to this little part of Cleveland and we're going to take over. We're going to own everything. We're going to own the school board and the city council and the mayors and we're going to do everything and we're going to make, and there's going to be Sicilian. There's going to be at 3 a.m. on loudspeakers, and pasta will be, no. They incorporated, they assimilated, and I in New York City am one of the great beneficiaries of some of the most wonderful heterogeneous infusion of multiplicities of people. Pilgrim says, my great-grandfather was translucent. That's white. There you go. You got Sicilians, and you've got a lot of people. Look at where you're from, Irish, Scots. Your proud people came here, and they become a part of America. Ashkenazi, Scandinavian. Ooh, so you got Jews, and nothing wrong with that. Ashkenazi, Sephardic. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But you wanted to, and by the way, speaking of Cuba, in Miami, when the Cubans came in the range rain in the late 50s, and then later on, even with the Mayoral boat lift in the 80s, there was an infusion, an extravasation, a wonderful influx of these wonderful people with wonderful foods and wonderful languages, and we've got the salsa, and they made South Florida. But while they really, I mean, you heard Spanish all over the place, Domino's and Calle Ocho and all of this stuff. You saw all of these things that were happening, but, and this is important, but they never, ever forgot where they were. They were proud of America, proud of this. That's the difference. These folks are not. Did you see in Minneapolis, this Omar Fateh, this Somalian dude? By the way, where's he from? Born in D.C. Ilhan Omar is from Mogadishu. Some of these people are not. Zohran is from Uganda. But remember, you can't throw somebody out. If you're born in this country, you are an American citizen. That's enough. Period. End of discussion. But this is a different story. We are fighting for our being. Please join us. Join us. Bring your culture. Bring your food. Oh my God, I can take you. If I put you in the Yugo, it's a stretch. And I say, let's go to Brooklyn. Let's go to Brighton Beach. Look at this. Russian and Ukrainian. I mean, you can see the Russian language and But it's there. They're not taking over. It's just, that's the way this is. I could take you to Williamsburg. I could take you to parts of Brooklyn where you can see the Orthodox Jews and the Lubavitchers and the Hasidim, and they live in there. Great. Then I'm going to take you to Astoria, Queens. And you're going to see the Greeks. Oh, and the diners and the bakeries and this incredible, again, this profusion of the great Greek people. And then every year we have Greek American parades and the Caribbean parades. And then there's a Peruvian that can take you to little Brazil, China. I can take you to Flushing, Queens, and you'll swear you're in Beijing. Food like you cannot imagine, but they don't take over. They assimilate. We can go to Little Italy. We can, whatever's left of that. We can take you to Little Korea. You like pizza? You want to name it? And bakeries? Oh my God. Bakeries? The Greek bakery. You ever go to a Chinese bakery? Where you have like a cafeteria tray and you just take stuff off of the, oh my God. I can take you to great Vietnamese food, Thai food, Laotian food. I can take you to so many places. We love it. We thrive on it. I can take you to the real Little Italy, not downtown, not Mulberry Street, but Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. That's where it is. And Arthur Avenue, oh my God. You go to the pasta shop, the mozzarella shop. There's this, was it not DeFerro's? Well, DeFerro's is a pizza place, but there's this, you can't believe it. I love that part. I don't believe there's any of us who believe for a moment that we should stop this. But what we're talking about right here is something which is different. We are talking about people who are not celebrating diversity. They are celebrating exclusion, not inclusion. Now, what's going to happen? And by the way, stay tuned. I may be back tonight. Don't forget, I'm going to be doing WABC from 1 to 5. Later on, I'm going to be doing this. Mrs. L and I are. But we are not leaving. Pilgrim says, you haven't lived until you've had real dim sum. Oh, I'm telling you. In Flushing, in these, almost like a mall of authentic, real, or Chinese. If I go to a Chinese restaurant, there's no Chinese people there, I don't want to go. And in the old days in the South, in Florida, if you went to a soul food place and there wasn't black folks, not interested. Sorry. Oh, that's racist. It's not racist. It's smart. So let me tell you something, my friends. A couple of things. First and foremost, I want to thank our sponsor. 2 things. Remember the SNAP? Remember the SNAP riots? Digital card turned off. If this isn't CBDCs, I don't know what it is. If you don't see this dystopian Brave New World, that's number 1. And when people don't get food, get ready. That is a beta test. They know exactly what they're doing. The same thing they did during COVID. And right now, I've told you about preparewithlionel.com. This is the best, the one, the only, the best emergency food, but not only that, water purification and matches and lighters and generators and food, 25 years shelf life. Go to preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. Remember what you need: food, water, energy, and ammo. Can't help you with the ammo, but the rest I can. Preparewithlionel.com. Do this. They're ready. They're ready. They are ready for big time. Look how they're talking about food and the socialization of food. Maybe you need an engraved invitation. Maybe I can do that for you. And also our good friend, Mike Lindell, is still with us. Mike Lindell is still busting the hump, and he's available at mypillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Both of these links are in the description section of our YouTube channel. Go there and check and support Mike Lindell with the greatest pillows and duvets and blankets and slippers and slides, which I think is their biggest seller. So mypillow.com/Lionel, preparewithlionel.com. All right, my friends, you have a great and a beautiful and a glorious and a fabulous and a phantasmic day. I want to thank our dear, dear friends, Pilgrim Media. By the way, that clown I love, Coolrophobia, Uncanny Valley, my friends. Johnny Jelaine, thank you. Frank, you son of a gun. My best to your wife. Sent her my best. Mark Klingerfeld, thank you, my brother. And thank you, wonderful, glorious, and beautiful people. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe. That's all they care about. The subs, the metrics, getting on board, letting our word be known. I'm different. I'm not the usual suspect. That's why they don't like me. I'm not going to say doctrinaire stuff. If I say it, I believe it. If I don't, I don't know. It may or may not comport, may not comply, may not fall within the adumbration of the particular tenets and the articles of faith of the Republican Party. I'm not a Republican. I'm an American. I'm a libertist. You understand that? So subscribe to Lionel Nation. By the way, I just did a brand new story on Lionel Legal, our other channel, why Trump's going to pardon Diddy. Absolutely guaranteed. And when, by the way, this is over, I can't wait to talk to you about Prince Andrew. Oh, that's the sickest. Epstein is over here. Andrew is over here in terms of just freak sick. Okay, you got that? You got that? All right, my friends. All right, we love you. Stay tuned. Stay lined up here. I'll be back maybe later tonight. And God bless America. God bless New York City. God bless you. And thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your indefatigable support and being here. This is such a pleasure. I can turn the mic on and talk to you, and nobody stops me. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious day. See you later. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. I'll be back.